Alright, I'm Shoy. I want to spend a few minutes with you today just to explain the second part of Tiberius. Tiberius is a grade 5 piece from the Rockschool book. It's a piece that a lot of my students pick up and then have a lot of problems with. Especially the second half. The first 2 pages are okay, it's a lot of clean sections and a sort of, an old school, classic rock type riff. However, comes the second part of the song where really the difficulty kicks in. And let me explain why. The second part is pretty much revolves around a 16th note pattern of down picking. So let me explain this. Your pick is down picking all the way through this section. This is something that a lot of students find very, very difficult because it's important first, and I'm going to explain, to get a really steady 16th note pulse. And the only way you're going to achieve this is by sitting there counting on the E string 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and let me show you. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and So this is really difficult to get. Not so much for the technicality of it, because it's actually just one movement that you keep doing. The biggest issue is the endurance. You're going for a down picking period for quite a long period of that song, so you have to build up the muscles. So please don't force this, don't try to go too fast. Well, all that's going to happen is, one, you may end up hurting yourself, but more importantly, what's going to happen is that you probably will end up not sounding very tight. Let me give you an example. If you listen to, this song is mainly inspired by Metallica and their sort of most famous 80s album, Master of Puppets. And the song Master of Puppets is where there's an insane amount of downpicking going through the whole song. It's a very difficult song to master for the endurance. And I urge you to listen to it to really hear how tight the whole song sounds. So the only way you can do that is by slowing down, playing very slowly, and over time you're going to build up that speed. So I urge you, if you're a teacher or if you're a student, that if you're starting to learn Tiberius, maybe start working on this second half as soon as you start learning this song. Just because it will take you time to get to that point where you will be ready to present that at an examiner. So that's for the first difficulty of this section. Let me show you the second difficulty. Is each of the riffs have got a little tail of power chords, sliding power chords. The problem with that, as such, the power chords are very easy. We're going from a B flat, just B flat to an A. Fairly simple. The second variation, we're going from a B flat to an A, and then from an A to a G. Okay, as such, not difficult. You've got to get some clean slides by digging in your fingers. The biggest difficulty of this part is the chords are not happening on the beat, they're happening on the E of the beat. So let me explain. If you count your 16th notes as 1 E and the second note of the 16th note pattern will come in here on the 1 E and So that's where effectively you're putting the accent by putting the power chord. Let me demonstrate that. 1 E and 2 E and So you hear that very clearly, that you're coming in with an E first, with a chugged E, and then you're doing the power chords very cleanly. The difficulty of this is that most people tend to feel those power chords on the beat, rather than on the E, just after the beat. So that's something, again, practice by counting. 1 E and 2 E and Okay? The third difficulty of this is the fact that you're coming in from straight open E strings down underneath that. So sometimes your E's will get jumbled up. But if you've done your homework by counting every single beat, 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and you will feel where the pulse is. So I urge you, please slow down. Practice this super slow. Take your time. It will take you a little bit of time to build up to that speed of 90 BPM, which I think what the song is. Finally, the last section of this song, very quickly, of this part of the song, is where you're switching the riff to an F sharp. So you've gone from an open E to an F sharp. Again, lots of students find that very difficult. So all you need to do is take your third finger, put it on the fourth fret of the A string over the C sharp, and what you're going to do is your first finger is going to hammer onto the second fret. It needs to stay there. Most people suddenly go start doing this. No. Put it there, leave it there, because what you want is an F sharp chord. So the riff will then go, it's a mirror of the first riff, but played from F sharp. So you're going 1 E and Again, I'm going to do that quietly so you can hear it. 1 E and Very important to get that. I know it sounds boring, guys, but trust me, once you really get the timing of this song, you will really feel the song a lot better, and you'll enjoy it a lot more. And it will be a very good introduction to learning songs like Master of Puppets, Welcome Home Sanitarium, even some Slayer songs from the 80s would have required a lot of insane amount of down picking. Anyway, I hope this helps today. I'll come back with a full lesson of the rest of the song. Till then, take care.